the country, public libraries feel the economic pinch.
Summer feels like it just started, but summer school is ending for some. Kids who relied on school lunches need someone new to feed them.
And Fulton's figuring out ways to prevent more dog attacks. KOMU 8 News at 10 starts now.
From Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 10.
The amount of books and the amount of materials that we have and that we update daily, we have no room for.
As cities across the country are still feeling pain from that economic recession, so are a lot of public libraries. Good evening, I'm Angie Bailey.
And I'm Nina Mooney. Thanks for joining us. Many mid-Missouri libraries say, however, they're doing just fine. But KOMU 8's Danielle McCarthy shows us why one library says the past 2 years have been a struggle.
What used to be a Kroger grocery store back in the 1950s is now the Boonville Public Library. Its dreams become more than a fairy tale. Danielle McCarthy, KOMU 8 News, Boonville.
Some of the new library features could include an outside children's garden, a cafe, and energy-efficient lighting.
Weather-wise, it has been a beautiful day, and it's turned out to be a beautiful evening as well as we take a look at live Doppler 60s. Things will change, though. The weather forecast is calling for some warmer temperatures and increased humidity. More on that in a few minutes on KOMU 8 News at 10.
Heating up. All right, thanks, Dave.
Well, the Missouri River has spilled over Easley River and Smith Hatchery Road. As you can tell, the spill is not severe, but the road is temporarily closed. Boone County officials began preparing for potential flooding this week. The county got 100,000 unfilled sandbags from the state and has them in storage right now. County officials say they are prepared to act within 24 hours should any flooding begin to occur. They are optimistic the flooding won't affect the homes of too many mid-Missourians.
Right now, it appears it'll primarily be farmland and roadways along the river bottom. Certainly, there are some homes in the McBain, Hartsburg, Wilton, and Easley areas that could be affected. But if river levels don't rise any farther than what they're forecast to at this point, we don't believe that will happen.
Gauges across mid-Missouri show the river is above flood stage when it was measured this afternoon in Boonville and Jefferson City.
As summer school wraps up this week, so do student lunch programs. KOMU 8's Crystal Scott tells us how city organizations will try to keep children fed this summer.
Active kids have active appetites, so when summer school is finished, KOMU 8 News, Mexico.
And to find summer food for schools locations, you can check out our website at KOMU.com.
Fulton's Dog Ordinance Committee wants to make 3 major changes to its current animal control laws. If the ordinance is approved, all owners will have to register their dogs. The city wants to add a definition of what a dangerous animal is, and tethering will not be allowed in Fulton. Tethering is when you tie a dog to an object to keep it under control. Before the city council votes on the law, there will be 3 town hall meetings to discuss those changes.
We want the opportunity to be able to say why we did it, and then we'd also like to have the potential person being affected to give them an opportunity to give their feedback. So.
For the times and locations of the town hall meetings and for more details on the ordinance changes, please visit our website, KOMU.com. And the 4th of July is around the corner. We'll tell you everything you need to know to stay safe this holiday weekend.
Plus, we will have a live demonstration on some of those safety tips for your 4th of July.
KOMU 8 News and HD is...
With 4th of July just around the corner, some local fireworks stands heat up with competition.
That's right, plus some important rules and safety tips to keep in mind this holiday weekend. KOMU 8's Blake Hansen joins us live with more on what to do when you light up the sky.
Well, good evening, Nina and Angie. We're at Bob's Fireworks. It's just one of the many vendors across mid-Missouri. But before anything lights up, safety officials are reminding residents and vendors about firework regulations. Cities across mid-Missouri have different rules, but with the same purpose. KOMU 8's Kaylee Milas shows us how safety officials want to prevent fire.
As fire marshal for the Columbia Fire Department, Stephen Sapsis, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.
Now, in Columbia, extra police officers will police the area July 1st through the 5th for safety. Columbia firefighters and police are urging citizens to skip firing off their own fireworks. They say instead you should attend the Fire in the Sky on July 4th at Memorial Stadium. But it's not necessarily football or basketball, but firework vendors are getting pretty competitive. KOMU Jake Schlegel shows us just how competitive those vendors get this time of the year.
Fireworks is really competitive. You want to have the best stuff, the best fireworks, the best prices.
Jake Schlegel, KOMU 8 News, Boone County.
Now, some firework vendors around Columbia estimate that sales are up about 20% this year. Now, firework safety is also very important, along with rules and some of the competitiveness that those firework vendors have. I'm joined now by KOMU 8's Todd Taminia, who's been following some of the important safety tips that you should keep an eye on and be aware of. And Todd, what are some of the things that you research?
Yeah, Blake, obviously safety is one of the most important things when dealing with a firework. And we're going to do a little demonstration here shortly to show you how to be safe when lighting a firework. But before we do that, we're going to check a few things. The first thing you want to do is make sure the firework has a label on it. That label means it's not a homemade firework or an illegal firework. It's made by a manufacturer. And you also want to have either a fire extinguisher or a bucket of water, a hose nearby, in case for some reason anything goes wrong. Now we're going to set this firework down here and show you how to properly light it. I'm going to keep my fire extinguisher nearby. And one thing I want you to notice, I kept the wick straight up, and I'm a good distance away from it. And so when you light it, you're going to reach your arm out and light it. So I'm going to walk this back here a little bit because we want to be appropriate distance away from it. So I'm going to set this down. I'm going to have Will walk me a little bit. I know we're getting a little dark, but we're going to take a step back, have my fire extinguisher ready. We're going to light this guy. Okay, we're going to walk away from it. It's one of the most important things. Get a good distance away from the firework. And there it goes. Now, Blake, as you can see behind us, it looks like it's completely out, but we keep our fire extinguisher safe by in case anything, we want to be safe. And one of the other things we want to mention, too, tonight is the safety rules in different counties. You want to make sure, we know Columbia, you obviously can't do within the city limits. Tell us about that, Blake.
Yeah, we ought to make sure, check your laws in the local areas before you light off any fireworks. We'll have more coming up after the break.
Now, your live Doppler 8 First Alert weather with Chief Weathercaster Dave Schmidt.
Well, good
It's pretty typical July for us, unfortunately.
It's the way it is.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
All right, well, Columbia has more feral cats than you might have thought. We'll tell you how residents are tackling that issue.
Then how about some lottery numbers? Good luck.
Welcome back. An ordinance on next week's City Council docket addresses Columbia's feral cat problem.
The grassroots organization SNAP held a public forum tonight at the Columbia Public Library to talk about the issue. KOMU 8's Josh Friedman was there and learned more about cats in an hour and a half than he had in his entire life. Is that true?
Well, about a dozen people showed up, Nina and Angie, for this public meeting to discuss the issues around the feral cat problem in Columbia, and the ordinance is coming up next week at the City Council meeting, and why they don't think that ordinance is the way to go about it. Now, there are thousands of stray cats, feral cats, roaming around Columbia. These cats are called feral cats, which means that they are the same as house cats, but have little to no socialization with humans. At tonight's public forum, members of SNAP, which stands for Spay, Neuter, and Protect, discussed the ordinance and presented data on the most humane methods of dealing with feral cat colonies. SNAP supports the TNR method, which stands for Trap, Neuter, and Return.
Running around. And right now they're pouring into the shelter and increasing the number of cats that need to be euthanized there.
The proposed ordinance will update the city's animal control codes with rules on feral cat colonies. SNAP opposes the ordinance, saying it will burden voluntary caretakers with excessive regulations and costs.
Missouri is running low on nurses while people are demanding more health care. Nurses from across Missouri were in Columbia today for a summit, brainstorming how they could ensure quality care for all those future patients. An aging workforce is the cause for some alarm. Coming up in sports, bells are ringing for Missouri basketball.
Coach Desk, KOMU 8 Sports with Eric Blumberg.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, back to the ladies in purple at the news desk.
We didn't coordinate it, but all right, thanks a lot. One author is documenting Missouri.
Coming up, we'll tell you about the 100 best kept secrets in our state.
For us tomorrow, we'll be in the upper 80s, a little warmer than today, but humidity should still be relatively low. But that's going to change Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday, the 4th of July. Hot and sticky weather ahead.
Feels like the 4th. The author of 100 Best Kept Secrets, Ann Hazelwood, hosted a book signing at Columbia Public Library to offer new ideas for summer vacations around Missouri. Dozens of people were interested in her secret findings. She talked about various adventures she's gone on, such as the Ham and Turkey Festival in California, Missouri. We're so going to that this year, as well as an Argentinian-based restaurant in Kansas City.
So it's a wonderful book to keep in the car, and you can find about the secrets or the festive finds, which is about unusual locations and events.
Hazelwood's next book comes out this spring and will be about the best breakfast stops in Missouri. I'm going to buy that for Jim Reek.
That's a good idea.
He likes himself some original food in Missouri, that's for sure. Tomorrow on KOMU 8 News Today in the morning, some good news for renters who have suffered through a natural disaster.
And on Facebook, we're talking about what you think when politicians apologize. Tune in tomorrow morning.
We'll see you then. Thanks for staying up with us.
Lend a hand in cooling your community. Join KOMU 8's fan club and help those in need beat the heat by donating a new or gently used fan at